Hallo und willkommen zurück zu Folge 65 von If My Heart Had Wings und der 12. Folge auf Kotoris Route. In der letzten Folge sind Aya und Kotori auf ein Date gegangen und weil es dann so lang wurde, haben wir zwischendurch abgebrochen. Genau das setzen wir jetzt fort. Viel gibt es da eigentlich gar nicht zu sagen. Sie haben einen Film zusammen geschaut, waren essen, dann nochmal in einem Café, haben sich einen Dress für Kotori angeschaut und das war's eigentlich. Schauen wir weiter. Mich nervt ein bisschen auf den Routen hier, dass einfach die Chapter so lang sind. Weil vorher war es so, in der Main Story oder dieser General Route, war es halt so, ich glaube die Chapter waren immer so 20 Minuten bis vielleicht 50 Mal, wenn es lang war. Und hier sind die eigentlich immer so 1,5 Stunden oder länger sogar. Das ist einfach ein bisschen nervig beim Aufnehmen. Also ich will halt immer gerne so auf Chapterende aufnehmen, ist ein bisschen, genau, ein bisschen schönerer Cut. Andererseits bringt sowieso nicht viel, weil ich im Endeffekt sowieso dann innen drin cut muss, weil die so lang sind. Und ich da mindestens 2 Videos draus machen muss. Aber ja. Crap. Kotori's lost all of her enthusiasm. We completed our initial objective, watching a movie. With this kind of mood, it wouldn't be surprising if Kotori suggested to go home already. What do you want to do now? It seems there's an arcade around here, but... We checked the floor guide looking for something interesting. I'm a little tired. I want to rest somewhere. I was relieved that, despite her drop in enthusiasm, she didn't say that she wanted to go home. Well then, shall we check out that place? That place? Actually, there was one more place I wanted to check out today. The cafe that you wanted to visit before. Oh, diesen Throwback habe ich jetzt nicht erwartet. Kotori tilted her head. You know, the place you said that has a delicious... I'm not even trying to embarrass myself by pronouncing that. Taking the hint, Kotori gasped. Cafe Flags. Go to Cafe Flags. This was one entry on Kotori's to-do list from before. According to Ageha, they served delicious sweets produced by a famous pastry shop. Back then, Kotori didn't know that it was targeted at couples and a popular date spot. In the end, she crossed out that entry, completely blacking it out. Cafe Flags happens to be at Windy. But isn't that place expen? Then you can treat me now! Aha! Don't worry, I've got plenty of funds left. Lunch was very cheap after all. So let's go, Kotori. Yeah. Outside Cafe Flags, a line had formed. Uff. As expected from a popular place. Das ist auch so eine Sache. Also ich weiß nicht, wie das in Japan ist, aber ich weiß, dass es in China durchaus nicht ungewöhnlich ist, dass man vor Restaurants ansteht. Ich weiß, dass wir mit meinem Bruder da in einem Restaurant waren, wir mussten irgendwie eine Stunde warten, so, oder? Die hatten da auch Stühle aufgestellt zum Warten, und haben uns teilweise so Tee vorbeigebracht, sogar for free. Das war interessant. The people waiting were primarily young couples, though a few older ladies hunched over with shopping bags were mixed in too. Ah. Wow, what a crowd. Here we go again. That means the food must be really good. We're getting in line? Nein, wir drängen nach vorne. Of course. We waited about 30 minutes. Led in by the cafe staff, we finally stepped inside. When we entered, the waiter took away one of the chairs at the table and led Kotori there. So it's this kind of cafe. Kotori muttered as she looked at the refined interior design. I also looked around with curiosity. We opened our menus. Wow, so expensive. The cheapest cakes were around 800 yen. 6 Euro für Kuchen sind... Wobei... Ja. Ja, wenn es ein Kuchenstück ist, dann ist es schon teuer, oder? Was kostet bei uns im Café ein Kuchenstück? 4 Euro? I guess. Aber das ist halt noch relativ durchschnittlich, finde ich. Also noch, halt noch nicht mal so für fancy Cafés. Von daher fände ich das ist auch nicht so komisch. The tea was about the same with more expensive ones exceeding 1000 yen a cup. Okay, das ist dann schon eher krass. And the highly recommended French word was 1300 yen for a small slice. There's no doubt that the food is exceptionally good. No, it'd better be or I'll be pissed. With such unrest tightening in my chest, I asked Kotori, what do you want? Insert French word and a Darjeeling tea. I'll have insert French word too, and an iced tea. We called a waiter and placed an order. We can finally try the famed insert French word. Yeah, I can't wait. Still in low spirits. Huh. Overthinking everything has surely sent her thoughts down a negative spiral. Sorry about earlier. What are you apologizing for? What made you think about unpleasant things? No, it's not that. It's not your fault, Aoi-kun. It's just... Kotori stopped talking mid-sentence. I didn't say anything and waited for her to start talking. Kotori timidly looked up at me. Is the date with me fun? Fun? What is she saying all of a sudden? Kotori gave me a fluttering glance from the opposite side of the table. Because of me, we're really standing out, right? Who cares about that? She said and looked around, meeting the glances of other customers. When we entered here, everyone was looking at us, too. Yeah, who gives a fuck? Das wäre mir sowas von egal. Does that sort of thing bother you? Since I'm like this, I'm sure I also make you think about unpleasant things when we're together. I wouldn't think so. Ich meine, man muss halt mehr sich Gedanken machen und planen, einfach nur wegen so, ja, wenn sie auf ein Date gehen, muss man vorher wissen, so ist das Dings da barrier-free und so, aber sonst... Besides, I'm dressed like this, and we can't even hold hands. Kotori gradually sank into herself. I told you, your clothes are cute. It wasn't just flattery, you know. Is that so? Ja, einfach krass wie Gegenteil von Selbstbewusstsein. Sie hier in ihrer Route einfach ist. Das kommt da sonst einfach kaum heraus. You like them, right? Kotori nodded deeply. That's because Oni-chan picked them for me. As expected from me, buddy-san. She knows what would suit Kotori. When I thought that, I felt a little jealous, though. I think those clothes from earlier would suit you too. It seems they're on your mind too. But wouldn't you think it's strange for a girl like me to dress up? Damn, stop putting yourself down. No, I wouldn't think so. Rather, it's weirder not to dress up. Is that so? You just said that we're standing out because of you, right? But I don't think it's because of the wheelchair, really. Huh? You're cute, that's why everyone's looking. No, that's not... You're always saying you're a beautiful girl yourself, though. Well, yeah, but... So she can admit that. Kotori is cute. She's almost impossibly beautiful. That's why everyone is stealing glances at her. Ich finde immer echt schwierig, wenn einfach so Illustrationen oder so sagen eine Sache und der Text sagt was anderes so. Also obviously, weil du kannst jemanden nicht einfach nur per Zeichnen so als wunderschön darstellen unbedingt. Vor allem, weil Schönheit halt auch so ein bisschen Geschmack ist, aber ja, yeah, deshalb muss man immer sagen so, she's unbelievably pretty. Und wenn man aber dazu die Bilder hat, das geht halt einfacher, wenn man es nur liest. Wenn man dazu die Bilder hat, dann ist es irgendwie schwieriger zu glauben, so, weil yeah. Also ich meine, Kotori sieht gut aus, aber keine Ahnung, für mich Standard Anime Girl. Yep. And if there are any inquisitive gazers, it's because they're wondering how such a beautiful girl ended up in a wheelchair. Beautiful girls can have accidents like everyone else? What? Of course it may be a bit uncomfortable for her, but I don't think it's something to get depressed about. You're cute, Kotori, so much that everyone turns to look at you. I'm delighted to be on a date with a girl like you, so stop making that face. Ai-kun. Kotori smiled a little. That's more like it. You're even cuter when you smile. After all, you're a self-proclaimed cool beauty! That, even though I told you to forget it, you still remember. There's no way I could forget something that intense. When I recalled it, I couldn't help but laugh. She was sitting straight with an aloof, confident smile, brushed up her hair with a smooth gesture, and called herself Cool Beauty. When she fumbled while brimming with confidence, it was an indescribable experience. Oh, you meanie. Ich finde, beleidigt jemanden als Meanie zu bezeichnen, ist auch irgendwie so cute. Allein schon durch dieses Wort. Kotori Grumbling. Was ist dieser Satz? Kotori grumbling like that made her even cuter. Oops. I felt like teasing her a bit more, but I restrained myself for now. Instead, I held my hand out across the table. Kotori realized my intentions and timidly put her hand in mine. We can always hold hands when we're not walking. But nobody besides us can have a date in a glider soaring in the sky, right? I'm sure other couples who were on a date at Windy today would be jealous. Kotori looked at me excitedly. Yeah, that's right. She nodded, slightly embarrassed. So smile for me. Your smiling face is the cutest sight ever. Thank you, Ai-kun. When Kotori giggled shyly, the waiter brought us the tea and cakes. Flustered, Kotori drew her hand back. The waiter saw that and smiled gently. Okay. The waiter placed the plate with cakes on the table. Besteht dieses Ding einfach zur Hälfte aus Baiser? Wobei, nee, da wird doch keine Schicht Baiser zwischen sein, oder? Oh, das wäre schlimm. Oh. Kotori's eyes sparkled when she saw the insert French word. Kotori, watch out. You almost started drooling after you saw that cake. Kotori wiped her mouth hurriedly. But just look at this insert French word. Of course I'm looking at it. I have the same thing in front of me. Don't you feel its divine aura? Just by looking I can tell it will be delicious for sure. Kotori muttered that she expected nothing less from a world-famous pastry shop as she examined the insert French word from every angle. Strawberries and deeply colored custard were sandwiched between countless layers of puff pastry. Ja, okay, das ist Pudding. Und das da oben ist wahrscheinlich auch Pudding und kein Baiser. Baiser ist auch echt so, ich kann damit nichts anfangen, das ist einfach weird. Konsistenz ist weird und Geschmack ist so meh. And on top of it, there was fresh cream with a large strawberry. Over the strawberry was a transparent gelatinous sauce. Illuminated by the cafe's lights, it glittered like a jewel. It's only natural that Kotori declared it would be delicious before even tasting it. I knew it. When you're angry or depressed, nothing works better than sweets. I can't say I don't somewhat disagree. What do you mean? In any case, I'm glad you seem to have cheered up. Kotori nodded shyly. Well, this place can make you feel quite bashful, I guess. Come on, let's eat. Kotori quickly nodded in agreement. Well then... Kotori gripped her knife and fork with trembling hands and brought them to the insert French word. The knife cutting into the puff pastry made a delightful sound. Kotori took a slice of the pastry with strawberries and cream onto her fork and carefully brought it to her lips. Welcher Kuchen macht crunchy sounds? Delicious. Kotori brought her hand to her cheek and raised her voice without thinking. When the waiter saw this, he smiled and nodded, not surprised by their reaction. Oh, it's so sweet and sour. Its rich and profound flavor fills my mouth. Leute, die einen Monolog über ihr Essen halten, wenn es so gut schmeckt. Dinge, die ja nie in real life passieren. Oh, this is the taste of happiness. Looks like it's so delicious that Kotori even started talking in a weird way. Yeah. Let's see. Chomp. Man, this really is good. At first I felt the sourness and aromatic sweetness of the strawberries, however those were wrapped up with the mild sweetness of the cream. And its texture was accented by the crispiness of the puff pastry. Different textures and different levels of sweetness were in perfect harmony, creating a luxurious, refined composition. Without exaggerating, I could say that this is the best cake I have ever eaten. This is the kind of cake you'd eat only on special occasions like birthdays or Christmas. Das finde ich auch lustig, dass die Japaner einfach Christmas Cakes haben, so Kuchen zu Weihnachten, das ist irgendwie, genau, seltsame Vorstellung. The very concept of cake that I've heard so far was smashed by this taste. No, by this experience. This is the bliss. This is bliss. Oh Gott. Kotori muttered while eating the cake, happy from the bottom of her heart. The fact that it was more effective than me cheering her up was slightly frustrating though. After all, my strategy of abating Kotori's anger with Häagen-Dazs was correct. This tea is also amazing. I think I'm in heaven. Kotori said her impressions ecstatically and reached under the wheelchair and rummaged about. Huh? What she pulled out was Isuka-san's navigation log. You're always carrying it around with you. It's important to me. This wheelchair experienced much rougher handling than an average wheelchair. Lashing through the rain at full speed, fighting the winds on hill roads, falling over sometimes, moving through the beach covered in sand. Because of that, the frame was even bent and needed repairs the other day. The log, which had been there the whole time, was pretty worn out too. Kotori opened it like an old veteran. She went to the page with the to-do list. She marked the completely blacked out entry where "Go to Cafe Flags" was once written as completed. Another entry completed. This entry was supposed to be erased, but she's quite persistent. Kotori gazed at the page with satisfaction, then turned her gaze towards the cake. Then she looked at me. Fixedly. Yes, this might be the peak of my life. What did you say? I've such a kind and cool boyfriend. Reliable friends too. And soon my dream of flying will come true. Das ist auch wieder so eine Sache. Ähnlich wie mit Monolog, den ich über Kawaii und attraktiv gehalten habe. Dasselbe mit cool und Kakoi. Kakoi heißt halt cool einerseits, aber auch spezifisch handsome und attractive in Bezug auf Männer. Yeah, das ist auch so. Interessante Mischung. So this is what they call getting a real life. Local 16-year-old shut and finally got a life. Sorry, ich glaube, ich finde das viel zu lustig. What do you mean? It's when you don't know laughing. Yeah, I definitely have a real life now. As she said that, Kotori impaled a giant strawberry on her fork. This insert French word is so delicious because you're here with me, Icon. I'm sure of it. Das ist aber auch mal so eine Sache, die ich mich gefragt habe, ob Geschmack wirklich relativ sein kann. Hatte ich bisher nie so wirklich das Gefühl in meinem Leben, bis auf an einer Stelle, wo ich mich das gefragt habe. Und zwar nach 1,5 Monaten. 1,5 Monaten? ja, könnte hinkommen. 1,5 Monate ungefähr in Neuseeland. Und meine Reisebegleitung war sehr speziell, was das Essen anging. Oder eher sparsam. Das heißt, wir haben eigentlich nur Haferflocken mit Milch, Apfel und Banane. Oder Toastscheiben mit ultra dünn geschnittenem Käse gegessen und sonst eigentlich fast nichts anderes. Und ab und zu mal eine Banane oder so. Oder mal sehr, sehr plain gekocht. Was hieß einfach nur Tomaten in der Pfanne irgendwie und Reis reingeschmissen. Ja. Ja. Jedenfalls waren wir dann irgendwann einmal, habe ich es geschafft, die anderen zu überzeugen, so einmal essen zu gehen tatsächlich. Danach, wie gesagt, 1,5 Monaten oder so ungefähr. Und wir sind zu einem Inder gegangen und haben Curry gegessen. Und es war, keine Ahnung, war einfach irgendeiner, den wir in der Stadt gesehen haben, in der wir da gerade waren. Ja, und es war auch, es ist noch nicht mal ein besonders großer Ort, wie so 50.000 Einwohner Ort oder so. Also wird wohl kein super High-Class-Restaurant gewesen sein oder so, I guess. Aber anyway, es hat so unglaublich gut geschmeckt, dieses Curry. Und ich frage mich bis heute, ob das Curry in diesem Laden einfach nur verdammt gut ist. Oder ob, ja, was ich meine, Geschmack irgendwie relativ ist und das, nachdem ich die ganze Zeit vorher so eintönig und uninteressant und nicht besonders gut gegessen habe, das dann deshalb so reingehauen hat. Ja. She muttered very seriously for some reason and then stuffed her cheeks with the strawberry. As usual, her train of thought was a little strange. Maybe that's a way of expressing happiness. Whether feeling down or feeling great, my girlfriend is unique. Then only one thing remains. Kotori looked up at me questioningly. I pointed at the topmost entry on the list. Cross the passage of... Boah, Schluck auf. Aus dem Nichts wieder, ich hasse es. Cross the passage of clouds. The entry left by Iska-san. Kotori stared at that entry while restlessly eating her third French word. I'm sure this dream will soon come true too. A morning glory is supposed to appear by the end of summer. That is, very soon. You will fulfill it, carried by everyone's hopes and dreams. Not necessarily. I was only chosen as the pilot because there was no one else suitable. But that might change when tomorrow comes. With a small delay, Kotori realized what I wanted to say. No, impossible. I'm just starting to practice. I was like this last year too, but I did fly. When I think about it now, it was absurd. It was actually pretty dangerous. Yeah. Aikun, don't you want to try it? Flying over the morning glory? I want to fly. I really, really want to. It was within our reach and yet we didn't get there. I will never forget that vexing feeling from last year. Then you should be the pilot, Aikun. There's no problem here. Also, Sie können aber beide drin sitzen? Kotori said as calmly as she could and took another bite of the third French word. Außerdem gibt es nicht die Controls, sind die Controls nicht duplicated auch, genauso wie es halt 2 Sitze gibt? Wurde das nicht früher schon gesagt? Dass irgendwie der andere übernimmt oder so, der andere, als am Anfang mit Armani geflogen ist? You said something weird and I got all excited. As Kotori said this, her face turned red like the strawberry. Thanks for the food. You're really fine with this? Yep, it's okay. I'll pay. Kotori insisted. I'm always relying on you, Aika. This is far from enough, but I want to do something for you too. Understandable, aber ich finde mal so ein bisschen einfach nur repaying favors financially. Irgendwie fühlt sich immer so nicht gut an. Ich wollte gerade ein Beispiel bringen, aber ich habe es mir gerade schon wieder vergessen. Wow, good job. Then I'll accept your treat without hesitation. Kotori took care of the cafe flags check. But there was only the pastries and tea between the two of us. The check was a pretty sizable amount. Na, was hat er gesagt? So 1000 Yen für den Tee, 1300 für Insert French Word. 4600 Yen. Also. 36 Euro? Krass. Aber nur für ein bisschen Kuchen im Café essen. Zu zweit. Even so, the insert French word was delicious. As I said this, Kotori's mouth seemed to recall the taste of the insert French word and her eyes were shining brightly. It was incredibly delicious. It's only natural this place is so popular. I have to tell Hibari-ne about it later. Kotori spoke with wild excitement. She regained all her vigor. Well then, what do you want to do now? Shall we get out of Windy and go somewhere a little quieter? Was ist denn mit dem Dress? Kotori was looking at the floor guide deep in thought. It seemed like she would need a while. The roof here is made out of glass and the bright sunlight was pouring from the sky. While Kotori was concentrating, I peeked up at the blue sky. Looking at this beautiful weather makes me want to go flying. Yeah, that cloud should be a good thermal. When I was thinking about this, I suddenly realized Kotori was looking at me. What?
Oh, no, nothing. It's just that you look kinda cool. When you're looking up at the sky like this, you look at your best, I think.
I see. Thanks. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's test.
Yeah, I'll do my best. Everyone has worked so hard for me.
Kotori was very enthusiastic about it. I patted her head gently. So have you decided where you want to go?
Oh yeah, she said and looked back at the floor guide. Let's see. I'd like to check out the game center, but before that...
Dress time? Kotori hesitated like she had something difficult to say.
I think I'd like to try on that blue dress from before after all.
Embarrassed, she looked away the moment she said this. I quickly got behind her and started pushing her wheelchair.
Ah!
It will certainly suit you.
What? Calm down, Aoi-kun. We don't have to rush.
Come on, let's go, Kotori. Before Kotori could change her mind, I rushed her to the store.
Welcome back home. You on a date, right?
Ageha was at Flying Fish Manor when we returned. What, you came here again? We don't have club activities today, so hang out somewhere else.
Here's fine, it's relaxing. How was it, Kotori-senpai?
Asa-chan pressed Kotori impatiently.
I had a lot of fun. The movie was great. We had tonkotsu ramen for lunch and finally... What's that? That's...
Kotori placed the paper back on the table. She has been holding it like it was precious. Ageha recognized the logo on that bag.
I know that shop, so we went to buy some clothes there. It's quite expensive, isn't it? No, not really.
Ageha tilted her head in puzzlement.
It was a gift.
Kotori's face beamed with a smile.
Oh, no way. I've never heard of that shop.
Okay.
Look here.
Der Dress sieht, ehrlich gesagt, ziemlich langweilig aus. Aber okay.
Wow, a dress. What a nice color. It will really suit you, Kotori-senpai. Aoi-kun said that too, and he bought it for me.
Ageha and Yoda-chan looked at me fixedly for some reason. Okay. Well then, I guess I'll go and clean the bathroom.
Kanako-san is using it right now.
Then I'll go clean the entranceway.
and then after the movie we had insert French for the Cafe Flags.
I left Kotori proudly talking about our date and slipped out of the dining hall.